Whoa. Hello guys. So, if you're not watching this live, welcome to the Keeping Goals live Q&A. Something that we do every Thursday around about this time, where I can answer your questions, chat about anything you want to talk about, goalkeeping, all that kind of stuff. Hi Liam, nice to see you. And yeah, feel free every week to jump on and ask your questions. So, I hope you're all well and we'll get to it. Any questions, let me know, send them across and we will start chatting. Good to see you coming in. Hi Callum, hi Ethan, hi Daniel, Aaron, nice to see you. Anthony, nice to see you. Thank you for coming in. Lewis, good to see you. James, hi. Okay, first question, Vex. Do you use finger saves? No, I don't personally use finger saves. I find it keeps the hands very rigid and you want a bit of mobility in your gloves. I used them a lot when I was a kid. I found them useful when I was growing and I was starting to play with older lads that could hit a ball really hard. I found it helpful then. But as I got older, I kind of trusted my hands instead. Hi Jack, nice to see you. Darren, nice to see you. Ethan asks, what gloves do you wear? Ethan, I wear Callier gloves or KA gloves, both the same kind of brand. The link to their website is in all my videos and you can use the discount code O'Keefe for 10% off any of their gloves, but they're some of the best gloves that I've ever worn, so give them a go for sure, they're incredible. Hi Paul, nice to see you. Jack asks, got to go to training, cup match, 4-hour journey. Good luck for the match, enjoy it, let me know how it goes. I hope you do well. George, congrats, clean sheet on the weekend, that's brilliant, well done mate. Morocco goalkeeper, nice to see you. Callum says, starting to get myself fit, any tips? Callum, if you're a goalkeeper and you're trying to get into goalkeeper fitness, the best way to do that is obviously by goalkeeping. Do as much goalkeeper training as you possibly can. There's other things that can help you get fit, working at the gym, going for runs, but also as important as the exercise you're doing is what you're eating, what you're drinking, how you're sleeping. Make sure all that's sorted out too. But take little steps, don't try and overwhelm yourself with it. Randy, are you a full-time footballer now? Yes, I am. I'll explain more about that on this coming episode of Keeping Goals on Sunday, so make sure you give that a watch. Hi Lily, nice to see you. Any good tips for high diving and landing from a high dive? High dives, top corner saves, a lot of people ask about them. It's not the most important area of goalkeeping. It's the basics which are the most important. Top corner saves are great, but make sure you've got the basics. But for top corner saves, practice with different types of service from a goalkeeper coach where they throw it and you have to move your feet with the footwork and try and make a top corner save. You have to make a decision whether to go with your bottom hand or your top hand based on where the ball is in proportion to you and the height within the goal. All that can be built through practice and training and talking with your goalkeeper coach. Landing, obviously you want to build that up slowly, so when you can land low saves and then medium saves, you'll be able to land on high saves. Don't go straight into top corner saves if you haven't learned how to land properly, but over time that'll come. Hi Kevin, how do you improve distribution skills with weaker arms and legs? Practice, Kevin. Honestly, it's practice. Until I was probably about 18, I never really practiced my left foot. It was all right foot, but I made the decision to practice with my left foot and that's what I decided to do. So repetition over time, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of reps on your left foot with different kind of distribution types, be that off the floor, side volley, half volley, even throwing with your weaker arm. All these things, you just have to practice it over and over and over again, and that will then build up to be as good as your strong side. What I've found is when you work on your weak side, often you don't get the bad habits that you sometimes have with the strong side that you've picked up over years. And when you can train yourself on the weak side, it gets almost better than the strong side. Liam, how do you like Gibraltar? Thank you, Liam. Yeah, I really enjoy Gibraltar. I live in Estepona, so I live in Spain. I don't live in Gibraltar, but I obviously have been to Gibraltar quite a lot to play football, to train, and to visit. And it's an incredible place, unbelievable people, very kind, and an amazing place to see. I've never been before. It is very unusual and very unique, but I do love it there. Footwork routines, Jack. Most of the footwork routines that I do, I build into my sessions. So whatever type of save I'm working on or cross I'm working on, I'll try and build in footwork using cones or ladders. That's basically to get yourself used to moving, but you very rarely move your feet like that in a game. The most important thing to do with footwork is try and move as efficiently and as effectively as possible from A to B. A lot of people like side steps, a lot of people like cross steps, people use different types of footwork. Building the cone and the ladder work first into your drills, which will get you used to the feeling of moving your feet very quickly. And then when you're doing extra drills in and around the goal, concentrate on how you get from point A to point B as quickly and efficiently as possible. How old are you? Walid, I am 24 years old. Mason, 16 years old, going into the Bostic Prem, tips for men's football. Mason, that's class, enjoy it. It'll be very, very different. There'll be some very hard bits, there'll be some amazing bits. Going into men's football is a big step up, something that was difficult for me when I did it. What you have to remember is, as a goalkeeper, you're under a lot of pressure from your team, your opposing team, the opposition's fans, managers. What you have to try and do is concentrate on your game and how you get better each game and each training session. It'll take time. Try not to listen to the people that are giving any grief or things like that. Focus on how you're going to get better. Don't worry if you've had a bad game. Don't worry if you make a mistake. They will come. But playing over and over again in men's football will be a huge development in your career. So let me know how it goes. Any other questions, let me know. What league are your team in? George, my team are in the Gibraltar National League. FC Bruno's Magpies are my team, and they're in the Gibraltar National League. Hi, Anthony. Come from Macedonia. Which goalkeeper glove brand is the best? Anthony, as I said before, I wear Callia gloves, which are incredible. Best gloves I've ever worn. I used to wear Adidas, but these Callias are half the price and twice as good. So have a look at their website. The link is in all my videos, and you can use the discount code O'Keefe to get 10% off. The Epic Gecko says, how do you get back in form? When you're struggling and you're out of form, the best thing that I've found in the past is to set myself small goals. So in training, I'll set myself a little goal, such as make 10 passes to feet. Something very, very basic, but once you achieve it, that gives you a little bit of a boost and you feel good about yourself. Then you can set yourself a new goal. Try and hold the majority of the shots that you can hold. Try not to parry as much. Then you can step it up, come for crosses, things like that. And each time you hit one of those small goals, you build your confidence up, gets yourself back in the feeling of positivity, and then you can take it into bigger goals and then into games and etc. And suddenly you're back in form again. Set yourself small goals and progress through. Aiden, outfield player, been asked to play in goal. Any advice? Aiden, whenever my mates used to ask what do I do when I go in goal, if they were outfield players, I just say, just watch the ball all the time. Never take your eyes off the ball. Go for everything. You're not going to have the technique. You're not going to be able to do things perfectly as you might see pro goalkeepers do, but enjoy it. Have a really good time and go for everything. There's no better feeling than diving through the air and making a big save. So just go for it. If you make a mistake, you make a mistake. Don't worry. Just enjoy it and go for every shot. Go for every cross and see what you can do. Do you actually have a chance to play in the Champions League? Casillas Beast. If you win the Gibraltar National League, you qualify for the Champions League qualifiers. So you're not in the group stage, there's a qualifying rounds before the group stage. But if you win the Gibraltar National League, yes, you do get into the Champions League. How did you balance football with studies? Very good question. For those of you that don't know, when I was a YT or a youth team scholar at Macclesfield, I also did my A-levels. So I used to train in the morning, then go back to my school and do classes in the afternoon. And then after a year pro, I went to university, was a student athlete at Loughborough University. So the way that I combined football and studies was to be very, very strict in my time management skills. So I'll set out my diary for a week and I will put in when my lectures are, when my training sessions are, when my games are, when my gym sessions are, every single time throughout the week. And then I'll put in when I need to do revision, when I need to do extra training. And I'll stick to that routine so that I can achieve my goals both academically and in football. And it worked out. It's a lot of hard work and a lot of dedication, but it got there. Zaid, nice to see you. How did you get good at taking goal kicks? Jack, practice, mate. Honestly, don't worry about distance. Don't worry about how far you're kicking it. Concentrate on the technique. I did a distribution tutorial on the YouTube channel, so go and give that a watch. It was in series 2 of Keeping Goals. Can't remember which episode it was, but give it a go. Give it a watch, sorry, and hopefully that'll help. How to stay composed in tense games. That's a tough one. Tense games obviously give you a lot more adrenaline, so you're buzzing in terms of trying to relax your mind. It can be difficult. The way I try and do it is to just deal with the situation that occurs. Don't try and think too much about the game, think who you're playing, think about the striker, nothing like that. Whatever the scenario occurs or happens, deal with that to the best of your ability and then take it from there. Try not to overthink things. When's your next game? My next game is on Saturday, so 2 days from now against St. Joseph's, who are a very, very good team, so it's going to be good fun. Where do you position yourself for a corner kick? Stay on the line or blah, blah, blah. I just missed your question. For corner kicks, it depends, obviously. If the corner is in swinging or out swinging will depend how far away from my line I am. I'm normally so if the corner's coming from this side and I'm in my goal, I'm normally just to that side of the centre point of my line, so that because it is easier to come forward and attack the ball than it is to go back. But yeah, judge whether it's an outswinger or an in-swinger and then make a decision from there. Can you do an updated video on how to clean gloves? I still use the same technique, to be honest, so give the video that I made in series 2 of Keeping Goals a watch, because that's how I wash my gloves. What time's your match? I want to watch. Jack, our match is at 4 p.m. on Saturday at Victoria Stadium in Gibraltar, so if any of you are there, come and give it a watch. Let me know if you're coming. It'd be great to see you there. In Morocco, there's not enough support. Hi, Iman. I get a lot of people from lots of different countries telling me that in their country there isn't the opportunities, blah, blah, blah. Try and have a look at keepers that have come from your country and become professionals, either in your country or outside of your country. Have a look at what they've done. Have a look at how they got through and how they progressed. Every country, pretty much, in the world has a national football team and a goalkeeper playing for that national football team. Try and analyse how they did it. Learn from them. In Morocco, I don't know about Morocco or football in Morocco, but try and learn from the keepers that have come out of Morocco how you can move forward. Best way to trial at a club, LinkedIn. I did a video talking about how to try and get a trial with a professional football club in series 2 of Keeping Goals. Give that a watch, that'll help. A lot of it is networking, so LinkedIn is a good idea. Social media is good to talk to coaches, talk to managers, talk to directors of football. Agents can help, but you have to be careful there because there are some that aren't the best in terms of looking after you and just trying to get your money. So the best way for you to get a trial with a football club is to play really, really, really well wherever you're playing, and alongside that, build your profile, create a highlight video, create a football CV, send it off to clubs. You might need to contact 100 clubs to get one to give you a trial, but it depends how much you want to do it. So I'd say play as well as you can, learn, improve, develop, but also do the work on the side to help with that. LinkedIn's a good start, but you can use lots of different platforms, lots of emails, telephone numbers, ring them up, visit them in person, all that kind of stuff. Thanks, Jack. Enjoy training. Yeah, come on Saturday, let me know, it'd be good to see you there. What time is it? Okay, I've got probably 5-10 minutes because I've got training this evening as well, so shoot us your questions if you haven't. Any solo goalkeeper training, and can you make a video about it? Azim, I don't really do much solo goalkeeper training personally, the stuff that I do on my own is mainly my distribution training. I did a video on that. I know that Omar Zini at Pro GK Academy has a lot of solo goalkeeper trainers, so go and visit his YouTube channel, visit his Instagram page. They're brilliant, and hopefully that'll help. How to improve diving and reaction time. Adrian, your reaction time in futsal, if you play futsal, should be very good because futsal is very fast, very close, so your reaction time should be brilliant. Futsal will help with that. Diving, obviously you've got to cover a bigger area when you're playing 11-a-side football, but again, it's just practice, training. Try and play as much 11-a-side football as you can, dive as much as you can, and you'll learn from that. Keep going with your questions. Sorry, they all come through really, really quick, so I try my best to answer the ones that I can see. Language barrier, communicating with your defence. Good question, Joe. Fortunately, before I came to Gibraltar, I had spent a year playing in Spain a couple of seasons ago, so I had learned Spanish. I continued learning Spanish when I went home. In the team that I'm playing in now, there are players that can't speak English, can only speak Spanish, and players that can't speak Spanish and can only speak English. So it's a good test for me to be able to communicate to both those sets of players in the language that they prefer in the middle of a game and alternate between the two. It's hard work, but it's a good test for me and a good way for me to develop. So you obviously learn the key phrases that they understand, learn the key phrases which are important in a game, but keep it very short. You want to deliver the information as quickly as possible. I do sometimes slip up between the two languages, but give it your best and try as much as you can to try and help. Trial training session tonight. Any last tips? Bob, enjoy it. Go and show what you can do. Don't stress, don't worry. Whatever happens, give your best and you'll see what happens. You've played hundreds of games, just deal with the situation that happens in a game. Don't go chasing anything, don't go doing anything that you wouldn't do just to try and impress people. Just deal with what occurs to the best of your ability and good luck for it. Let me know how it goes. In my team, we don't have a goalkeeper coach. Zaid, neither did I in my last team, so that meant I had to work on my own goalkeeping. I had to train myself, I had to find extra goalkeeping help. It's not an excuse. You can still go out and train, you can still get better, you can still improve. What do you do when you're out for a long period? Jakob, I'm recovering for the 4th month now. Sorry to hear that, Jakob, that's frustrating. Obviously, it is very annoying when you're out injured. I did a video on goalkeeping injuries in series 2 of Keeping Goals. Go and give that a watch. There's a lot of things you can do to improve in terms of watching the pros, see what they do, both in training and in games. Watch your old footage, see the mistakes that you make, things that you can do better. Train in the gym, obviously the areas that aren't injured. Improve physically in that term, improve mentally. Train what you can in terms of goalkeeping, but look after yourself. Obviously speak to physios because you want to be back as fully as you possibly can. What size are your gloves? I'm a size 9 in gloves, which is pretty common, I think. Probably a fair few of you are size 9 as well. What technique do you use to catch a ball straight at your legs? Walid, it's difficult. A lot of people use the technique where they drop a knee. A lot of people use a technique where they spread their legs and scoop it up. I try and train both techniques so that I can use the technique that works best in the situation. But training as many techniques as you can will help you to deal with whatever happens in a game. How tall are you? Ryan, I'm 182 centimetres tall. Recommendations for weak side diving? Practice, 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 same as anything else. Couple more minutes and then I'm gonna have to go. Send me a few more questions and I'll try my best to answer, but then I'm gonna have to head off to training. How did you find your new team? Bob, they play in the same league as Europa Point. I played against them. They gave, a lot will be explained in Sunday's vlog. Go and give that a watch, I don't want to give it away. Have a trial for Charlton. What are key things that coaches look for? It depends on your age, I suppose. I don't know how old you are, but the main thing you can do is just try and be as relaxed and as calm as possible. Don't go trying to do anything too rash, anything that you wouldn't normally do. Just relax, enjoy the game, deal with the situations that occur. I know I keep saying it, but it's very, very important. Whatever happens, deal with it as best as you possibly can, and then the result will take care of itself. How can I get out the habit of taking a big step before the dive? Joe, take a small step before the dive. No, I think it's obviously training. I know what it's like when you have a habit and you can't get out of it. Try and train yourself into taking small steps. Sometimes a big step can help, but moving your feet as often as you can, often quicker than you would think you need to, can help in terms of getting a dive. Right, 2 more questions and then I'm going to go. Last couple of questions. Is the goalkeeper glove brand RG good? I've never tried them. As I said, Cali are my gloves and they're brilliant, so go and have a look at them. One more question. Last question, and then I'm going to head to training. Send me a good one. How did you manage a long distance relationship during your time in Madrid, finding a club, playing football, and your girlfriend was back in England? That's a good question. Obviously, Frankie came with me when I went to Madrid and she helped me find a club in terms of the language because I couldn't speak Spanish at that time. She then had to go home, and there was a couple of months where I was in Spain by myself training. Yeah, it's hard when you're separated from the person that you are with, but she was fully supportive of me. She knew that I was doing what I wanted to do and I was chasing what I wanted to chase. So I think the time went by quite quickly for me because I was head down in terms of training every day, trying to get into a team. And yeah, no, she was very, very supportive. Couldn't have done it without her, but it was tough. Right, that'll do. Thank you for your questions, guys. I really appreciate it. I'm sorry if I didn't answer them. This time next week, we'll do another Q&A and I will try my best to answer as many as I possibly can. If you have any other questions that you really need my help with, send me a message on Instagram and I will get back to you. But thank you for watching. I appreciate it. The next episode of Keeping Goals is out this Sunday, so make sure you give that a watch and let me know what you think. But thank you for watching. I'm off to training. I will see you all later. I'll see you all on Sunday for the next episode of Keeping Goals. Have a great day. Have a great rest of the week. I'll speak to you in a bit.